One, 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 one.
See, and I started it out doing a pursed lip. So watch when it's saved on the pages, it's gonna be like, but hey y'all, we're back again, and we wanted to make sure that you guys got all the information earlier. Gosh, this blue light, the glasses. It's like y'all can't see my eyes. So happy wealthy Wednesday. We just had a phenomenal time with Mr. Trey Ford. His name on social media is Trey Solo 7. And so we're going to flip around his laptop and we're going to show you guys the broadcast. I don't think through this software we can just pop it up and share the screen with you. So we're going to turn this around so you guys can watch and see. Please comment. Let us know what you thought. If you have any needs or requests that we can fill, we will try our best to do that. But there's so much going on that we all need, some support during this time. If not a little, we might need a lot, or we might be somewhere in the middle. And it doesn't mean financial support all the time. It might mean mindset support, right?
Yes.
We do that. Paul, you have anything before I switch around this?
I just have one thing to say. Remember one thing. Every journey begins with a single step.
I like that.
Can't keep standing still. Take that first step and then take another and then take another. And you'll get to where you're trying to go. If you don't take that first step, you'll never get there.
And share that quote by Zig Ziglar too. We talked about it earlier.
Oh, Zig Ziglar says in order to get everything that you want, you got to help others get everything that they want.
So that's what we got to be doing, like positioning ourselves to help others. I forgot how this office, the lighting is different. So excuse me, y'all. I like to be, super bright in the screen, all these other lights, and I only have this main one over top head. So hopefully y'all can see us. I don't think it's too dark.
You think you can make that bigger?
Yeah, let's make this bigger. So as I stated, y'all, we're going to show y'all this recording. And again, y'all comment. We want to see your comments. We want to know that you were here. If you don't drop a heart, if you don't drop a smiley face or like, we can't even see that you were here. And so sometimes I look at the stories later. I'm like, all right, 500 people on here, but I don't know who those people were. And we want to support you back. We want to follow you back. We want to, sow into your lives back. That's one of our calls as ministry leaders, but also business owners and making good connections. So
now
that is that. Oh, thank you. Miss Bell, thank you so much. I see you are popping up on our screen. So what we're going to do, switch this screen around, show you guys what we did earlier. I'm going to stand up. Excuse me. All right. Let's see. Gonna pause it briefly. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and play this. Go ahead and play it, and then everyone can hear this. And if you don't know about this page, it's ready.
Hey, y'all. All right. Hey. And I just double check and see. Can you guys see us live? I just need to make sure. Okay, it looks like it's gone live on Facebook. We in there. All right. Uh-oh, I need to turn this sound down. Thank you guys, anybody who's joining us right now for Wealth Wednesdays. My name is Trey Ford. I'm the co-founder of Gainesville Black Wall Street, which originated as a marketing firm, a brand launching firm, and we've gotten into all kind of stuff. So we do a comedy show called Fake Famous Comedy. We do Black Films Matter screenings, and with the new normal being very, very digital, it was important to us to give people the opportunity to hear from people who have obtained wealth, who know how to gain wealth, and who are continuing to gain wealth, and most importantly, be pandemic proof, because we're in a situation now where there's a lot of tension, both in a medical arena and in the emotional arena, political arena. There's tension everywhere, but guess what? We still have to pay our bills, and it's still right for us to leave a generational blessing for our kids and our kids' kids, or if you don't have any kids, for your nieces or your cousins or your nephews. So without further ado, really the stars of this show are Jessica and Paul. I met Jessica and Paul. I think I met Jessica a while ago, but most memorably, Jessica and Paul drove all the way from Gainesville, Florida to Jacksonville, Florida for our second installment of Big Famous Comedy there. And they were sponsors. And just so you know, anytime we have an entertainment-based event, we like to fish with the bait and not the hook. So the bait is the comedy. The bait is the movie. But the hook is MWR Financial showing you how to be prosperous or how to protect your investments and things like that. So real quick, if you guys don't mind, I should have done this beforehand, but give them your rap sheet. What is the full suite of? It's IBTS, and just tell them what that acronym means, because I know it wouldn't fit on the bottom, but just give us like a blanket bird's eye view.
I'll take that one. Well, we are IBTS, which stands for In Due Time Solutions. We are a community and residential redevelopment company, which basically means we redevelop the community by redeveloping the mind and helping them to think outside the norm, because the norm is won't get you where you need to go. And for the residential side, we invest in real estate. So both things will become recession proof, and will keep you going. And both things will keep you working at home and be profitable. And that's what it's all about. Multiple streams of income.
Absolutely. And I'll add to that just a little bit. I am a counselor through education, attended the University of Florida, then moved for my master's at UPenn up in Philadelphia. And so when I was counseling a lot of my clients, I noticed that there was a financial need that was there as well as a mental health need. So I was treating that mental health need, but then I also seen that if they were going home, there weren't any lights on, or they had more month than money, we had to provide some solutions. And that's kind of how we connected with MWR Financial. But the pure goal of our company, In Due Time Solutions, we're co-founders of that, is to create economic stability, in communities such as East Gainesville. So our heart is really here in Gainesville. And so, Trey, I hope we answered your question. That's just a little recap of what we do.
You did, and I apologize if I'm looking down. I was supposed to share this from my page, and I can't figure out how to share it, so I'll share it later. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. So for people who are in this current situation now, they're furloughed, they're laid off, maybe their business is closed, maybe their business hasn't had the opportunity to open yet, depending on, because we're Gainesville Black Wall Street. I assume most of the people here are Floridian that are watching this, but when obtaining multiple streams of income, usually when people hear things like real estate, they feel like that's too far away from them. So what would you suggest as a starting point for somebody they're at square one, maybe they lost their job and they're starting over, they're starting afresh? What would you say would be the best industry starting point wise?
Well, that's a very good question. Do you want to talk about cash, or do you want me to talk about it?
You can talk about cash, but I'll say one thing first. First and foremost, do a self-evaluation. Determine exactly who you are, because you can't identify where you want to go. Let's first identify where you are and what goals and likes and dislikes you have. Because
I don't mean to cut you off, but what he's talking about, John, is the law of location. The law of location. Where you must locate yourself first to even get where you want to go. You can know where you want to go, but if you don't locate yourself first, how are you going to get there? You can't even put it at Apple Maps or Google Maps without starting and ending locations. So that's strong, y'all. If y'all are taking notes, law of location. That's big time.
There you go. That's the GPS mentality. Gotta know where you are. You gotta know where you are before you can tell where you want to go. And that's the first thing. And once you've gotten that down, then okay, I'm here. I'm on this point here, and I want to go here, but I don't quite know how to get there. And that's when you come to the GPS of cash.
Yeah, so we actually have a program for beginners who want to start out in real estate, and it's called CASH. It's an acronym for Creating Affordable and Sustainable Homes. So that is really a group effort, right? So they can sow as minimal as $1,000 and then produce a 10% return on their money, and they can reinvest that money over and over. So, most people think you have to have $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 in the bank to invest in real estate, and that's just not the case.
Right. Cash. Tell me that again. Cash. Tell me the acronym again.
creating affordable and sustainable homes.
Creating affordable and sustainable homes. Are you guys building the homes and then selling them? Or what is the process? Because it sounds like it's a group effort. So you're doing this in Gainesville primarily?
Yes.
Or North Florida in general? Okay, Gainesville primarily. That's okay. And so from a real estate standpoint, they're able to get involved with you through cash and start to learn and develop themselves. And how is there a way to earn income through cash for the individual?
Yeah, so we have like what's called an investor portal. So whatever amount that they contribute, they can't contribute more than half because we definitely want it to still stay a group effort. And then they'll receive 10% on their investment. So that's the incentive. So if 10,000 is the number, then they're always going to get 10% on top and their initial investment. So it's just kind of, instead of sitting in a bank account where it's not making any money, it's sitting, as we're fixing and flipping that property. Once we sell it, that investor makes some additional income as well.
Got it. So let's take people even further back. So let's say I'm somebody who's interested in cash, but I ain't even got no cash. If that makes sense. So if we were to scale it back even further, let's say I'm somebody who was in the service industry, maybe a waiter or something like that. I've been out of work for a long time, and I got maybe $200 to $500 to my name. I got ways to get money, but I'm not going to put something in like that. That seems more long term. What would you suggest for people who are looking for right now money, so that they can then go into the cash program and then go into more long term stuff?
Well, like I said earlier, we are In Due Time Solutions. We are a solutions company. We have solutions, many solutions. One of the solutions is one of our many home-based businesses, which will help you take that small amount and grow it to the state that you can invest, by helping other people get their finances together. You mentioned MWR Financial earlier, and MWR Financial, one of the things, the first thing it does is show you how to increase your income, while helping others improve their finances. And that's the whole thing. The more you want to help people, the more your money will grow.
That's who was that? Was that Norman Vincent Peale, or was it? It was somebody said it. The more people you help get what they want, the more you'll get what you want, or something like that. I gotta give me a little quote list, because I know these quotes. I be jacking them up, man. Michael Jackson said one time. No, I'm just kidding. So
Zig Ziglar said.
That's who it was. You're right.
It's actually two of his quotes I love. That's one of them, and the other one is, you don't have to be great. You have to start off great. You gotta be great. I'm messing that one up.
Look, I'll pass it off on you.
You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
You have to start. Oh, that's strong. That's strong. You guys cannot overanalyze whatever it is that you're trying to start. So you can decide to consider, to reevaluate, to ask your mom, to look into, to reconfigure, but with no motion, nothing's gonna happen. So fall forward, fail forward, and it's not really failure, it's feedback. And so when you take that step forward, whether it's with MWR Financial, or whether it's with cash, or whether it's with something else, you have to take that step forward. And then if you trip, that's feedback. That means that your legs weren't moving right, or something was out of order. You need that feedback in order to progress. So there's nothing wrong with trying something and it not going exactly how you wanted it to go up front, because you needed that feedback in order to weed through. So that's really good. So besides MWR, what is another option as far as so actually let's break down MWR, because if I understand it correctly, it's like a suite of things. It's not just one solution or whatnot. What break down MWR for me?
So MWR has 4 components. One is called Money Max, the second Credit Max, the third Equity Max, and the fourth is Wealth Max. So
those one more time. Do those one more time.
Money Max, Credit Max, Equity Max, and Wealth Max. So they're all sources just to take your money to the next level. So, for example, Money Max is where we can help W-2 employees increase their take-home pay at their job without having to work overtime or extra shifts. And they're able to increase their take-home pay on average by $300 to $1,000 a month. And so that's not working a second business or a second job.
Did y'all hear that? $300 to $1,000 a month just through being a W-2 employee.
Yes, very
powerful. Learn how to work that tax system.
Well, the whole thing is, you do a simple thing by uploading a couple of pay stubs, last three years tax returns, and our
you just need to provide the info, and through MWR, the experts go through your information, the information that they require that you provide, and then that manifests into $300 to $1,000 extra per month. Yep.
Absolutely.
Y'all, I don't know about you, but $300 to $1,000 extra, I'll take the 300. Hey, I got 560. Yeah, you got 560. Okay, I got 560. So that's a range, you guys, and just so you know, it's gonna vary for everybody. We don't know what you do, so don't run home and be like, y'all said I was gonna get $1,000. No. You have to. So the experts have to go through a certain amount of paperwork. The paperwork has to be correct, has to be legit, and then that's how you're gonna manifest that money. And so that's one area. Tell me another one that MWR does.
Sure. So another area is credit max. So making sure that credit scores aren't in the 3, 4, 5s, and even the 6s, right? Because we lose money when we pay these high interest rates and then premiums and things like that. So with a lower credit score, that actually adds additional money back into the household as well. The other two services, Equity Max, is how to come out of debt quicker. I mean, we buy real estate all the time, and we don't want to sit with a 30-year mortgage. And so with that program, we put all our variables in it, tuck it down to 18 years without paying a penny more every single month. So that's pretty powerful. And then the last area, Wealth Max, helps individuals to become their own bank and to purchase land at a discounted rate.
Got it. That's strong. Okay. So MWR Financial, and you guys are involved in something else. That's very strong. And then you guys are involved in something else as well. That's home base. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right.
Tell me something about that.
And that is for that foreign exchange enthusiast who wants to learn how to trade forex. And that platform actually has the opportunity to earn two different ways. One by owning your own business and building that business while you learn how to trade. And I was reading something earlier. In fact, the young man said that he traded in 2017 and he stopped because he lost his money. He got with Tradera and followed the educational platform. He's been now trading for 9 months. His account grew from $100 to $3,000.
That's strong. Nobody's savings account is doing that. I don't care if it's in a credit union or not.
Because it's an educational platform that literally states that if you follow their plan, they'll have you trading within 2 weeks.
So their format is you come and you enroll into this educational platform. You go through 3 weeks of training. I would assume some of it's hands-on, some of it's written, some of it's different types of training. And then by the end of that 3 weeks, you're able to use live money. It sounds like that gentleman started with $100 and grew it to $3,000, right? Mm-hmm. And how long was that?
His was 9 months. They actually promote a 20 pips and dips profile that literally says that they can take $50 to $20 to $3,000 to $6,000 in 30 trades, and they advocate that you trade 2 to 3 times a day. So that 30 trades can be 10 days, can be 15 days. But the whole thing is, now one thing you said I want to correct though, because when you're learning never stops.
Fair enough.
You learn a craft, and you're constantly perfecting that craft to get better and better, so that one day you can find your teacher and become the teacher.
Yeah, definitely. I'll reiterate that too. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to be a life learner because things are ever changing as well. Things stay in motion. So if you as soon as you stop learning, you probably start dying in some areas. And what I mean by that is, one of my old trainers used to always say, you're either green and growing or brown and dying. There's no such thing as stagnant or staying still when it comes to things like this. So continue to learn, and obviously, I mean, if it's an educational platform, do they continue to teach people in this, or once you go over 3 weeks, how does that work?
No, they constantly have live training sessions.
Okay.
Literally 3 to 4 a day where you can jump on a live session while they're training, while they're trading. They literally have a platform that you can do a copy and paste while you learn, because they'll tell you when to get into trade, when to get out the trade. When to buy, when to sell, when to stand still.
You can plagiarize somebody's trade.
They want you to.
That's plagiarism in school.
They want you to. They tell you until you learn to do it yourself, do what we do and make your money.
I'll take it.
That's powerful to me. You get a 7-year trade and tell you what to do. Sounds good.
I'll take it. So tell me a little bit about y'all's goals, because I think, goal setting is important, and the number one thing in order to set goals, the law of location, but also knowing yourself. So that's kind of law of location as well. But you have to know yourself, know your strengths and your challenges, shore up your challenges. You guys sound like you've already done a lot of that work, and it sounds like you guys are life learners as well, so you're continuing to do it. But tell us about your trajectory and goals, because I think it's valuable for people to hear how you guys are a married couple. So hearing a married couple's goals and maybe applying that to somebody who's single or another married couple that maybe is in a different city or state or in a different age bracket or income bracket, up or down. So what is y'all's trajectory? Maybe like, I don't know if you do 90 days or 10 years or however you do it, just drop some dimes on us.
He immediately looks at me. So,
I go first. Still likes to go first.
right, and to all the single women out there, prior to becoming married, I always had a goal of retiring before 40. So that was always just the plan. As a little girl, I was counting money, with my dad as a farmer, right? He was allowing me to sell this produce and, count and account for him and things like that. And I said, oh, I could do this. And I didn't know he was teaching me tools of being an entrepreneur for many, many years. And so with us, when we came together as a couple, he had his own financial goals as well. But again, both being lifetime learners, he's back in school for a master's, and I feel like I'm going back at some point, but it's always education first and then financial literacy for our communities. We see that there's a disparity. Oh yeah, there's a big disparity here, but it's not just Gainesville, right? We know that it's a national, if not global thing where we have to pour into the next generation. We see a lot with this movement right now, and so it's to be at the forefront. But then financially, to have 7 streams, I mean, the average millionaire has at least 7. So to keep building, to not be stuck on one thing, and we have to do that until we're 65 and 70 years old, but to come together, to support others, and then to expand.
Absolutely. So are you guys headed at million or billion? Where are y'all getting off the mark at where it's like it's good enough?
I heard somewhere that there was something out there that had a Z on it.
There's a Z on it? Hey,
Yeah,
that's brilliant there goes. I don't even know what that looks like.
I think they come after trillion. A zillion.
Jeff Bezos ain't even made it there yet. Y'all headed to pass him up.
Ultimately, our goals is, because one thing we didn't mention that I'm a minister. Okay. And she's a minister in training. And one thing that comes with that, you come to realize that it's not really about you. One of our major goals is to help as many people as we can obtain a financial independence and financial freedom as we possibly can. By showing them that, because you know what, it's a simple thing. When you're constantly learning gives you competence. Competence gives you confidence. And when you're confident and you know what you're doing, you can obtain so much help to people.
Absolutely. I spelled business wrong on that little banner, so I got to fix that real quick. I left the S off. All right. So what do you all have coming up as far as how do people connect with you? Let's go there. How do they connect with you? And is there anything that people can do in the near future to learn more about what you do, whether it's for the foreign exchange trading? And I'm going to highlight this real quick because I don't know if everybody knows what Forex is. Forex, you all, is currency of all different kinds throughout the world. And when we say Forex trading, we're talking about being able to go into a market, and I'll just go ahead and tell you, it's called, there's an app that you can download right now called MetaTrader 4. Now, don't go in there blowing your money because the first step is trading, but I don't mind telling you to go look at it and see that it looks like a completely different language if you've never heard of it before. But it is so phenomenal to be able to, here's how normally foreign exchange trading works. Normally, foreign exchange currency trading happens when I fly to Mexico and I want to exchange my US dollars into pesos. And the day I get there, let's say I get there Friday, I'm leaving Sunday. The day I get there, the exchange rate is, let's say $1 to, I don't know exactly, so let's just say 200 pesos. Because I'll just tell you guys, we don't trade pesos on Forex usually. It's usually the British pound, Australian dollar. So this is a bad example, but I'm using this example so that it is not exact. So let's say it was $1 to 200 Mexican pesos. When you come back, it might be $1 to 203 Mexican pesos. Or the fluctuation might be larger or smaller, just depending on what's going on in those two countries and relative to each other. So basically, that is an inefficient way to trade Forex, to go fly from one place to the other and be exchanging it. You can do it right on your phone. And I will say some of the pairs or some of the currencies are British pound, the euro, the Canadian dollar, the Australian dollar, the US dollar. A lot of people use dollar, the New Zealand dollar. And so that's Forex. And I wanted to pop that in because it came up. So I was like, man, people might not even know what Forex is. So again, what are the ways that people connect with you, and what do you have coming up in the near future for people who are ready to go? You see this and they're like, you know what, that was a sign for me that I'm going to compete.
Absolutely. So we have a couple things coming up. I'll start with that first. Next week, college, and it is about the beginning of becoming a trader, right, through Forex. We're going to touch on that, the trends. When you look at a graph, to not be confused, to kind of have some terminology and some language around it, that's important. We have to know.
Is that a virtual event or in-person event?
It's virtual.
Okay. Anybody can get on it, no matter what the country or city or whatever.
Absolutely. And all of Santa Fe's community education courses, they're all streaming live for this semester, the summer semester. So individuals can just Google, Santa Fe Community Ed and type in Beginning for Traders. That's one of our courses there. And then we also, tomorrow night, we're doing a free webinar for just some credit questions, how to improve credit and things like that. So that will be through Zoom. So Trey, I'll give you that information, or I think you already have it for individuals. And then we are also on social media at Anytime Solutions. That's Facebook and Instagram. We have emails. I mean, I don't think a lot of people email nowadays anymore. I feel like I'm age.
Everything's on Messenger.
Right.
Yeah. Social media definitely is where it's at.
Hey guys.
One thing I wanted to say though is real quick, you touched on Forex, and that's that the education can really take you from knowing absolutely nothing to trading, because they take the time to answer your question. They have their community where you can ask anything, and everybody chimes in. They say they love the beginner, but then they can mold them into what they need to be, not have to erase the old stuff they already knew.
Right.
So I think it's powerful that you can know nothing, walking there and be trading in a couple weeks.
Wow, yeah, definitely. So that 3 weeks was impressive to me, and even growing $100 to $3,000, you just don't do that. I mean, maybe if you bake cakes and you buy enough batter and stuff like that, you do a round of cupcakes and then you take some of that money back. I mean, to flip money, quote unquote, with products or with some of the ways. There's several ways to flip money, so we're not saying that this is the only way. But in my opinion, it is one of the very, very, very most efficient ways, and effective, obviously. The effective side is that you made money, but efficient wise, because there's just so many variables when you start getting into buying and flipping real estate. I watch this thing called Flip or Flop on I think it's HGTV, and sometimes they get into their site unseen and it's a mess, and they have to do more than what they intended with their budget, but I'm not saying don't do real estate, because it's still, I mean, they at the end of those flip and flops, the type of I wouldn't call it commissions, but the type of profits that they get are making. And guys, I will say this: there's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5, but profits are better than wages.
There you go. That's it right there. I just realized we flippers. We flip houses. We flipping currency. We flipping credit scores and financial packages. We flipping people's minds.
Y'all like Missy Elliott team, flipping the reverse. All right. Any last thoughts? I'm gonna do my little promo reel at the end. I think this was enough need. You know how people's attention spans are. I think people can get some good content from this, and then the details. Ladies and gentlemen, these calls are not going to be something where you're going to be able to take notes for 30 minutes and go make $1 million. You have to connect with some of the people that we're putting you in front of. And this is a dynamic couple. They're also in ministry, so that tells me that they care a lot about people. But I mean, you're on here for Wealth Wednesday, so the fact that they care about people but also know how to flip just about everything, a coin, a currency, all that. So credit score, flip your mindset. I mean, you might need to do a flippage series. I don't know. So any last thoughts? And then I'm gonna go on a little promo reel, and then we're gonna be out of here.
Well, we definitely want to thank you for welcoming us on.
Yes,
We
thank
love to see what Gainesville Black Wall Street is doing, the different movements. I mean, we enjoyed connecting with you guys. You mentioned it at the beginning. Traveling that distance, you know, it didn't add up to a lot because we enjoyed ourselves and we loved connecting. And so it was powerful. I know we were a little disheveled at first trying to get up in here, but this was good. And it gave us
301 all the way to Jacksonville without getting a ticket.
so
got that too.
right, and we want to just thank you for the opportunity, and we love to see what you're doing. Please keep up the good work. We're following you. We know that you're passionate about what's going on right now here in the state. So I think that's about it. And we always say now is the time for an ending time solution.
Now is the time. Thank you guys for coming on. Let me see. I'm gonna boot them off. And the last thing I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, is find a way to get in touch with them. You can probably comment right on this live. I'm going to share this from my other pages. If you're in Jacksonville, Florida, we Throwback Thursday for Black Films Matter. We are showing Get on the Bus because from what I understand, Mr. Reverend Al Sharpton is leading a march, I should say, not a charge. Hopefully we're not going to charge with no bayonets and stuff. We can reduce the violence on us for sure. We can reduce the violence and get productive. So I want to say that there is a march plan for Washington, D.C., August 28th. Now, also August 28th or August 29th is the Black Business Expo in Jacksonville. I'm involved in a little bit of the sponsor sale for that. So I'm hoping that I can double dip, but I might have to just stay back in Jacksonville and make sure that the Black Business Expo